Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. You want to change your life. You want more money, more energy, more fulfillment, more results. Then stop sleeping on your mornings. Yeah, that's right, your mornings. Because the way you start your day is everything, and I mean everything. I don't care if you're 18 or 48, rich or broke, unemployed or overworked. I don't care if you're grinding at a startup or trying to figure out what the hell to do with your life. What I care about is what you do between 5:00 a.m. and 9:00 a.m. And if your answer is scroll Instagram, check emails, hit snooze 3 times, chug a coffee, and rush out the door, then guess what? You're already losing. You lost before the damn day even started. You want to win, then you've got to flip the script on your morning. You've got to attack it like your life depends on it, because it does. Let me explain something that people don't want to hear. Success doesn't start with luck. It doesn't start with talent. It starts with intent, with habits, with ownership. You've got to own your morning like it owes you money. Most of you wake up like you're reacting to life. Emails, notifications, problems. You're in defense mode from the second your eyes open. That's not how you build a life. That's how you survive a life. I don't want you to survive. I want you to dominate. Start your morning with intention. Start it in silence. Start it in gratitude. Start it in motion. I'm not telling you what time to wake up. I'm telling you to be awake when you wake up. Fully awake, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You need to check in with yourself before you check in with the world. What do you want? What are you building? Who are you becoming? If you don't know the answer to those questions, then you're building someone else's dream, and that's a tragedy. Don't give your best energy to nonsense. Don't let the first hour of your day go to other people's drama, social media envy, or the false urgency of notifications. Give it to your vision, to your goals, to your work ethic. You've got dreams, right? You've got ideas, you've got ambition. Prove it, show up for it every morning. You want confidence, earn it. You want discipline, build it. You want momentum, create it. That starts with what you do when no one is watching, when there's no applause, when it's just you and the grind. That's where winners are born, in the quiet, early, dark hours where everyone else is still asleep. There's nothing magical about mornings unless you make them magical. It's not about the time, it's about the mindset. It's about saying, this is my time, this is where I prep for the war of the day. This is where I remind myself who the hell I am and what I'm doing here. And don't get it twisted, winning the morning doesn't mean it's easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be worth it. There's going to be days you don't want to get up. There's going to be days you don't want to train or journal or read or hustle. Good, that's the test, that's the separator, that's the line between the people who say they want it and the people who actually do. Every morning is a chance to reintroduce yourself, to take back control. To reject the chaos and start with clarity. You don't need motivation, you need commitment. You've got 24 hours, everyone does. Billionaires, athletes, artists, students, hustlers, losers, winners. We all get the same time, but not everyone respects it. Not everyone values it. Not everyone protects it. You win the morning, you set the tone. You control the narrative, and you know what's crazy. Most people underestimate the compounding effect of just one solid morning. One focused, locked in, productive morning changes your mood, that changes your energy, that changes your decisions, that changes your conversations, that changes your life trajectory. You stack enough of those mornings together and suddenly you've got momentum that can bulldoze obstacles. But let me be real, don't romanticize this. This is not about a perfect morning routine. This isn't Pinterest. This isn't about green juice and yoga poses unless that's your thing. This is about doing the hard, unsexy, consistent stuff that makes your future self grateful. Read 10 pages, write down your goals, work out, reflect, meditate, build your business before your boss's business. You want to make music, write one verse. You want to build a brand, post your content. You want to break out of average, then stop starting your day like everyone else. You don't need more sleep, you need more purpose. And I say that as someone who believes in self-care, but let's stop hiding behind the word self-care as an excuse to be lazy. You know what self-care really is, self-respect, and you can't respect yourself if you keep betraying your own potential every morning. So tomorrow, when the alarm goes off, You've got two options: snooze it and stay the same, or rise up and step into the fire, win that first hour, win that first breath, win that first decision, because when you win the morning, and I mean really win it, you carry that momentum into everything else. That hard call you've been avoiding, you crush it. That creative block you've been stuck in, you punch through it. That negative self-talk that's been playing in your head, you silence it, not because the world changed, but because you did. And that's what this is about. You, your choices, your patterns, your rituals. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not late. You're just one decision away from changing everything, one morning away. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Get serious about your mornings and everything else will start to follow. Your business, your body, your bank account, your confidence, your peace, your passion. They all start in that quiet hour before the world demands something from you. Don't sleep on your future. Don't snooze on your destiny. Wake up like it's game time, because it is. Win the morning. Win the damn day. And if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, but I'm not a morning person, let me stop you right there. That's not your identity, that's your excuse. That's a script you've been handed or picked up along the way, and now you're clinging to it like it defines you. It doesn't. You weren't born a morning person or a night owl. You were born with potential, and habits shape the rest. So shape them differently, rewire, rebuild, reclaim your time, because guess what? Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired or uninspired. It only cares that you show up. That's the beauty of discipline. It's not emotional. It's not up for debate. It's a choice. And every time you make that choice to beat the sun up, you send a message to yourself that you run your life. Look around. Most people aren't losing because they lack talent. They're losing because they lack urgency. They keep waiting for the right moment. They keep waiting for inspiration. But success doesn't wait. Growth doesn't wait. Greatness definitely doesn't wait. So why are you? You've got to create your own fire. Create your own pace. Create your own wave. No one's coming to light that spark for you. You've got to do that yourself, and you do it when you stop starting your days in chaos and distraction. Start with control. Start with clarity. Start with hunger. People want results, but they don't want to do the reps. People want change, but they don't want to disrupt their comfort zone. Let me tell you, nothing good grows in comfort. Growth happens when you break the cycle, when you look your own patterns in the face and say, not anymore. You don't need a revolution, you need a routine, something repeatable, something rooted, something that serves your highest self, not your laziest self. You keep asking for breakthroughs, but you don't even own your breakfast. Think about that. You want the life, the money, the impact, but you're still negotiating with your alarm clock. That's not ambition, that's self-sabotage. And I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to wake you the hell up. You want to win, then act like a winner before the world gives you the scoreboard. No one sees your morning hustle. No one claps for it. But that's the point. That's the magic. You build the foundation in the dark. You stack wins in silence. You become undeniable not by what people see, but by what you practice when no one's watching. It's about mastery, and mastery starts with mundane consistency. Same alarm, same rituals, same process, day in, day out. That's how you sharpen the blade. That's how you build momentum. That's how you go from interested in success to married to it. And by the way, this doesn't mean every morning needs to be productive in a traditional sense. It just needs to be intentional. Sometimes the win is quiet. Sometimes it's not a PR in the gym or a finished chapter in your book. Sometimes it's just showing up when you don't feel like it. Sometimes it's choosing discipline over dopamine. That's another thing. Most people start their days chasing dopamine, scrolling, liking, comparing. Consuming. You want to break that. Start creating instead. Write something, say something, make something, move your body, push your mind. You were born to create, not just consume, because here's the truth. Every morning is a fork in the road. And you either take the path of least resistance back to the same excuses, same patterns, same regret, or you take the path of growth, the harder path, the higher path, and you take it before the world has a chance to slow you down. Let's talk about energy. You think energy just happens. No, energy is created, cultivated, protected, and the first hour of your day determines how much of it you're going to have. If you wake up and start reacting, giving pieces of your energy away to everything and everyone before you've filled your own tank, then you're not going to have anything left for the stuff that matters. But if you wake up and take ownership of that space, you win, you fill up first, you train, you read, you reflect, you breathe, you work, then you go into the world charged, not chasing, you go in full, not empty. And stop saying you don't have time. You have time for what you prioritize. Don't tell me you want to change your life and then spend the first hour of your day avoiding it. Wake up earlier, cut the fluff. Reorganize your calendar, reorganize your values. The truth is, it's not a time issue, it's a standards issue. If you're letting your morning be random, you're letting your life be random. Formers don't wing it. They design it, and your design doesn't need to look like mine. It just needs to work. It needs to serve your mission. It needs to put your mind in the right place and your body in motion. That's the formula. And once you feel that momentum, really feel it, you're not going to want to go back. You'll be addicted to progress, obsessed with growth, hooked on the high of becoming the best version of yourself. That version of you, the one you see in your head, the one you dream about becoming, that version isn't created by accident. It's built brick by brick, routine by routine, morning by morning. And most people are too busy doubting themselves or looking for shortcuts to realize the key's been in their hand the whole time. You build self-respect by keeping promises to yourself, and that first promise is how you show up when the alarm rings. You're not going to feel like it. Let me say it again, you're not going to feel like it. That's normal, that's human. Your brain's trying to keep you safe, keep you warm, keep you comfortable. But you didn't sign up for a comfortable life. You're here because you want more, and if you want more, you've got to do more, especially when no one's clapping, especially when no one's watching. You think successful people have it easier. They don't. They've just gotten ruthless about their patterns. They don't negotiate with their discipline. They don't talk themselves out of greatness with weak internal dialogue. They don't wake up wondering if they feel like being excellent. They decide to be excellent and then they follow through. And when you do that, when you own that first hour even just for you, even just in small ways, something shifts. Your posture, your tone, your presence. People feel it. You start showing up different. You don't need to announce it. It's in your energy. That's what happens when you live aligned. When you stop lying to yourself. When you stop saying someday and start saying today. Let's talk about chaos. Life throws curveballs. Kids get sick. Emails pile up, emergencies show up, but here's the power of a strong morning. It's your anchor. It's the one thing you can control in a world of unpredictable stuff. And when you start grounded, when you start clear, you become a storm in the storm. You don't get knocked over. You don't get rattled. You respond. You don't react. It's funny, everyone's looking for motivation like it's this secret sauce that successful people keep in their back pocket. Here's the truth. Motivation comes after movement, not before. You don't get hyped and then act. You act and then you get hyped. You get up, you move, you create, you push, and that movement generates the juice. That's how the winners do it. Some of you are waiting for the perfect plan. Screw the perfect plan. Just start. Build the habits. Let the habits build the results. Too many people spend their lives planning a dream and never living it. What if instead of waiting for clarity, you created clarity by moving forward every single morning, no matter what? Think about this. If you spent just 30 focused minutes every morning on your passion, your craft, your body, your mind, that's over 180 hours a year. That's 5 full work weeks of pure self-improvement. Now tell me again why you don't have time. You've got time. What you don't have is the willingness to stop giving your time to distractions, to other people's agendas, to your lower self. You've got to protect that first hour like it's sacred, because it is. It's your edge, your mental gym, your creative lab, your training ground, and it's where you shape the kind of human you want to be when pressure hits. And let's be honest, this isn't just about productivity, it's about identity. Every morning, you cast a vote for the type of person you are, and when you stack enough of those votes, you shift your beliefs. You stop seeing yourself as someone who wants to change and you start seeing yourself as someone who does change. That's real confidence. It's earned in the dark, when no one's watching, when it's just you and the alarm clock. You don't need another course. You don't need another guru. You need to get serious about the free tools already in your hand: time, energy, focus. That's what builds legacy. That's what builds leverage. That's what builds someone who wakes up every day ready to crush, to build, to serve, to lead. There's always going to be an excuse. You're always going to be tired, stressed, distracted, behind. That's not going away. But what can change is who you are in the middle of it. You build that person with repetition, with reps, with choices that seem small, but they stack. They always stack. And while everyone else is chasing hacks and trends and secrets, you're building your advantage quietly every damn morning. You're not flexing it, you're just living it, letting the work speak, letting your discipline speak, letting your energy do the talking. And maybe you've failed before, maybe you've tried this before and it didn't stick. So what? Get back up, try again, build slower this time, build simpler, but don't stop building. The people who win are not the ones who never fall, they're the ones who rise fast and often. And every time you restart, you're not back at zero. You're starting with more wisdom, more strength, more truth, and don't forget this. There's no such thing as wasted effort when it's part of your evolution. Even the mornings where it feels like you're dragging, where you didn't perform at your best, still count. Why? Because you showed up. And every time you show up, you reinforce the story that you're the kind of person who doesn't back down from the process. You become dangerous, unstoppable, because consistency beats talent when talent disappears under pressure. You know what's dangerous? A person who's hungry in silence, a person who builds while others sleep, a person who doesn't post about it, doesn't brag about it, but just keeps getting after it, because when the spotlight finally shows up, they're already ready. Already sharp, already built, but people don't get that. They want the payoff before the price. They want the glory without the grind. They want the rewards, but they're scared of repetition. And repetition is the only way to mastery. That boring, daily, unsexy work, that's where confidence is built. That's where resilience is forged. That's where you learn to trust yourself, not from talking about it, but from being about it. Your routine becomes your rhythm. Your rhythm becomes your roar, and once you've found that groove, it's hard to go back to chaos. You feel the difference, you walk different, you speak different, because you're living in alignment, and people can feel that. That's what magnetizes success to you, not just effort, but energy, not just discipline, but presence. And let's talk about presence. When you start your day on your own terms, not reactive, not in a rush, not buried in noise, you develop a sense of calm that most people don't have anymore. And that calm, that's your superpower. That's how you walk into a room and shift the energy without even saying a word. You're grounded, you're aware. You're dangerous in the best possible way. Because here's what people don't get: owning your morning isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more focused, more intentional, more powerful. And power doesn't mean loud. It means aligned. It means you know who you are, where you're going, and why you're doing it. Most people wake up and immediately lose the day. They hand over their time to things that don't matter. They check their phones, check their emails, check their likes before they've even checked in with themselves. You want to be uncommon? Start by refusing to do what average people do. Start by treating your time like it actually matters, because time is your currency. It's the most valuable thing you've got. And if you're not intentional with the first hour of your day, chances are you're not intentional with the rest of it either. That's why it matters, not just because it's quiet or peaceful, but because it sets the tone for everything that follows. If you're lost, start with your morning. If you're anxious, start with your morning. If you're tired, start with your morning. You don't need a full reinvention. You need to win the first battle, that first decision. That first breath, that first rep. Stack that win and you stack momentum. Stack momentum and you become a machine. And you don't need permission to do this. You don't need perfect conditions. You need ownership. You need a calendar that reflects your values, not your distractions. You need to stop scheduling your life around what's urgent and start scheduling it around what's important. Don't build a morning routine that looks good on Instagram. Build one that gets results in your real life. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be yours, and it has to work. Whether it's silence or sweat, journaling or jumping rope, reading or running, design it to serve your goals. And then protect it like it's oxygen, because here's the ultimate truth: if you don't build your life, someone else will build it for you. Your boss, your phone, the media, other people's expectations, they'll all line up to tell you how to spend your time. But when you own the morning, when you lead yourself first, the world starts to follow your energy instead of dragging you into theirs. And once you feel that power, you won't want to go back. You won't want to sleep through opportunity anymore. You won't want to keep starting over every Monday, every month, every new year. You'll become someone who moves the needle every single day, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary, because you're done coasting. You're done surviving. You're done living below your potential. You're here to build, to create, to lead. And that starts not with a new job, not with a new city, not with a new relationship, but with the next morning. The next choice, the next hour, the clock's ticking, your future's watching, the version of you keep talking about. It's waiting to meet you on the other side of that alarm clock. The speech you've crafted is powerful and full of raw energy. It's motivating and speaks directly to the audience's desire for change, growth, and taking control of their lives. The tone is assertive, engaging, and challenges listeners to rethink their habits and mindset, especially regarding how they start their days. The speech has a strong, urgent tone that grabs attention and makes listeners want to take immediate action. It motivates people to stop making excuses and take responsibility for their own success. The focus on the morning routine is something everyone can relate to, whether they're already successful or struggling. The idea that the way you start your day impacts the rest of it resonates with people who want to make meaningful changes in their lives. The message is simple: own your morning, take control of your time, and become the person you want to be. It's clear, direct, and easy to understand. The speech effectively challenges the audience. It pushes them to face their excuses and call out the narratives they tell themselves, which is critical for self-improvement. There is a strong call to action throughout, not to wait for motivation, but to create it by taking action. This direct approach makes the speech feel like a call to arms rather than just a motivational message. While the energy is fantastic, you could enhance the emotional depth by including more personal stories or examples of people who have successfully transformed their lives by changing their mornings. This could make the message more relatable and humanize it further. While the consistent urgency is powerful, there could be a slight variation in tone, moments of reflection, or softer, more vulnerable moments that show empathy for those struggling. This could help balance the intensity and make the speech more dynamic. While the speech encourages people to take control, offering specific, actionable steps for them to implement might add clarity and make the advice feel more attainable. For example, suggesting small habits to adopt or routines to try might inspire people to take that first step. The speech is intense, which is great for motivation, but slowing down at key moments to allow the audience to digest the points or to create suspense could make the message hit even harder. The conclusion is strong, but it might benefit from a more direct, empowering closing statement. Ending with a clear, uplifting reminder of the power of choice could leave the audience feeling inspired and ready to act. This speech is energizing, empowering, and drives home a powerful message about taking ownership of one's life. With slight adjustments to deepen the emotional connection and add practical advice, it could be even more impactful.